If you are over 65 years old, I want you to pause for a moment and really pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, because this could completely change how you take care of your body starting today. Most people believe that walking every day is enough to keep their legs strong, maintain mobility, and ensure independence over the years. And yes, walking is important, it's healthy, it improves circulation, and helps the heart, but there is a truth that almost no one says clearly: walking alone is not enough to preserve the muscle strength you need after age 65. And I want you to think with me honestly, how many people do you know who walk every day, sometimes for years, and still have difficulty climbing stairs? How many need to use their hands to get up from a chair? How many feel unsteady walking on uneven ground or are afraid of falling? This is not a coincidence. It happens because the body ages in a very specific way, and walking does not address the main aspects of this decline. Healthcare professionals see this every day. Disciplined people who walk regularly, yet still lose muscle mass, lose balance, and become more fragile over time. This happens because walking only activates a limited portion of the leg muscles, mainly the more superficial and endurance-based muscles. But the muscles that weaken the most with age, those responsible for strength, stability, and protection against falls, are not sufficiently stimulated. And that's exactly where the difference lies. If you want to remain independent, climb stairs safely, get out of bed or up from a chair without effort, and avoid falls, you need to train movements that truly activate these deep and essential muscles. And the good news is that you don't need a gym, you don't need expensive equipment, and you don't need risky exercises. There are simple, safe, and extremely effective movements that can completely transform the strength of your legs. And now I'm going to show you the first one, perhaps the most important of all. Exercise 1. Sitting and standing from a chair. This movement may seem simple at first glance, but it is actually one of the most important tests used by doctors and physical therapists to assess the functional health of a person over 65. There is a reason for this: the ability to stand up from a chair without using your hands is directly linked to your independence. Think about it, throughout your day, how many times do you sit down and stand up? From the bed, the chair, the couch, the car. If this movement starts to become difficult, your independence begins to decline. And when that happens, the risk of depending on other people increases significantly. But what makes this exercise so powerful is not just the movement itself, but the muscles it activates. When you stand up from a chair, you are recruiting several muscle groups at the same time. The quadriceps, located at the front of the thighs, are responsible for extending the knees. The glutes, which are essential for hip strength and stability, engage to push the body upward. The core muscles, in the abdominal and lower back region, help stabilize the torso. And there are also the muscles around the knees and ankles, which work to maintain balance. Now compare this to walking. During walking, many of these muscles are used very lightly, without generating enough stimulus to truly strengthen them. That's why someone can walk every day and still feel weak when standing up. Now let's look at the correct execution, because this is where the detail that makes all the difference lies. Sit in a sturdy chair that is not too low. Your feet should be flat on the ground, aligned with shoulder width. This is important to ensure stability. Now, lean your torso slightly forward. This small adjustment helps shift your body weight and makes the movement easier. From there, push against the ground with your feet and lift your body using mainly the strength of your legs. Try not to use your hands. If necessary at the beginning, you can use slight support, but the goal is to rely less and less on that support. When sitting down, do it slowly and with control. And this is a point many people ignore: going down slowly strengthens the muscles even more because it requires control and stability. Don't just drop into the chair. Control the movement until you are seated. Repeat this process 8 to 12 times. Rest for a few seconds and do another set. If it feels difficult at first, that's not a problem. In fact, it's an important sign that your muscles need this stimulus. Over time, something interesting begins to happen. Your body adapts. Your muscles become stronger, your balance improves, and that movement that once felt difficult starts to become natural again. And more than that, you begin to regain something many people lose without realizing it: confidence in your own body. And here's a detail that few people mention: this exercise doesn't just strengthen your legs. It improves your coordination, your body awareness, and even your confidence when moving. And this has a direct impact on preventing falls, which is one of the leading causes of loss of independence after age 65. So if you want to start in a simple, safe, and extremely effective way, start here. This movement, done consistently, can be the first step to maintaining your strength, your mobility, and most importantly, your independence for many years. And in the next exercise, you will understand how to further work on balance and stability, two factors that can literally prevent falls before they even happen. Now I want you to stay with me, because what comes next goes deeper into something that can completely transform your strength, your mobility, and your safety in daily life. Why do doctors and surgeons trust the sit-to-stand exercise so much? Because studies show a very clear pattern. People who can perform this movement well walk faster, climb stairs more easily, maintain independence longer, and have a much lower risk of falls. And there is an even more important detail: this exercise trains exactly the movement you use most in your daily routine, getting out of bed, off the couch, out of the car, and up from the toilet. All of this requires the same pattern of strength and control. Now think carefully. Walking does not train this movement. Walking does not teach your body to lift its own weight safely. It does not strengthen control during descent. And it does not prepare your muscles for the most demanding moments of the day. That's why many people walk every day and still need support to stand up. When you start practicing this exercise consistently, your body responds quickly. In the first few days, you already feel activation in your thighs and hips. Within a few weeks, standing up becomes easier. And in a few months, you notice something even more valuable: you feel steadier, safer, and more confident in your movements. Now let's move on to the second exercise. Exercise 2, heel raises. When we talk about leg strength, almost everyone thinks about the thighs and hips. But there is an essential muscle group that is often ignored: the calves. The calves are responsible for pushing the body forward, stabilizing the ankles, and maintaining balance with every step. Without them functioning well, walking loses efficiency and safety. And here is a critical point: after age 65, the calves are among the muscles that lose strength the most in the body, and walking is not enough to prevent this loss. That's why many specialists call the calves the second heart. They help with circulation, pump blood, and keep the body moving with stability. Now here's how to do it: stand near a wall or chair. Rise up onto your toes as high as is comfortable. Hold for 1 second at the top. Then lower yourself slowly, controlling the movement. Repeat 12 to 15 times. Rest and perform 2 to 3 sets. Now understand why this exercise is so powerful. During walking, you only use about 20 to 30% of your calf's capacity. But when you perform this movement, you activate up to 100%. This strengthens the ankles, improves balance, activates the Achilles tendon, and engages the deep muscles responsible for stability. Studies show that people who practice this exercise regularly reduce the risk of falls by up to 30%, especially in situations like stairs, slippery floors, and uneven terrain. Over time, you notice clear changes: your steps become lighter, your ankles stronger, and walking becomes easier, not because you are walking more, but because your muscles can now properly support your body. Now let's move on to the third exercise. Exercise 3, standing knee raises. One of the most common problems after age 65 is weakness in the muscles that lift the legs. These muscles are called the hip flexors. They are essential for climbing stairs, getting into a car, preventing trips, and maintaining smooth walking. When they become weak, a person starts dragging their feet, their steps become shorter, and the risk of tripping increases significantly. And here is something few people know: walking does very little to strengthen these muscles. That's why many people walk every day and still struggle with simple tasks. Now here's how to do it: hold on to a chair or countertop. Lift one knee up to hip height or as high as is comfortable. Lower it slowly. Then repeat with the other leg. Perform 10 to 15 repetitions on each side. Complete 2 sets. This exercise activates deep muscles that are essential for safe walking. It prevents your feet from dragging on the ground, improves coordination, and trains your body to lift your feet more with each step. In addition, it strengthens the core and pelvic region, protecting your spine and improving your stability. If it feels difficult at first, that's not a problem. It's simply a sign that these muscles have not been used much. With consistent practice, your body adapts. Your movements become safer, your confidence increases, and each step becomes more stable and controlled. In the end, that's what really matters. It's not just about moving, but about moving with strength, safety, and independence. Now I want you to understand something that completely changes how you see exercise after age 65, why these 3 exercises are more effective than just walking. First, let's make something very clear. Walking is good. Walking is healthy. Walking is important for the heart, lungs, and circulation. But walking does not prevent muscle loss. And after age 65, muscle mass loss accelerates every year if you don't do something active to strengthen your body. This is the point most people ignore. Now understand the difference in a simple way. Walking improves endurance. These exercises improve strength. Endurance keeps you moving. Strength keeps you independent. Walking supports your health. Strength ensures your safety. Being healthy is important, but feeling safe is essential. Walking moves you forward. Strength lifts you up. And you need both if you want to age with confidence. Think of your body like a car. Walking is like taking care of the engine, it keeps everything running. But these exercises are like reinforcing the frame, the tires, and the brakes. Without that, the car may still move, but it's not safe, not stable, and it doesn't respond well in more challenging situations. When you combine walking with these exercises, your body starts to function the way it should. Now comes a common question: how often should you do these exercises? To get good results, practice 3 to 4 times per week. Perform the movements slowly and with control. Rest when needed. Focus on the quality of the movement, not the speed. This detail makes all the difference. Most people begin to notice improvement in about 2 weeks. In 8 weeks, simple daily tasks become easier: standing up, walking, climbing stairs, everything starts to feel smoother. In 3 months, something even more important happens: your balance improves, your walking becomes steadier, and your fear of falling decreases significantly. Now I want to leave you with a very important message. If you think you are too weak, too old, or that it's too late to start, that's not true. You are not too old. You are not too weak. And it is never too late to begin. Muscles can get stronger at any age, even after 70, 80, or 90 years old. This is not an opinion. It is supported by studies and by the daily practice of professionals who work with older adults. Your body is not failing you, it simply hasn't received the right stimuli until now. Walking sends one type of signal to the body, but these 3 exercises send the signals that we're missing: signals of strength, stability, and control. When you start practicing this regularly, your body responds little by little, day after day, step by step. And your strength begins to return. In the end, it all comes down to this: your independence depends on your legs, and what your legs will be able to do from now on depends directly on what you choose to do today.